Why, hello and welcome back to another vlog video. And yeah, hopefully this one's gone out slightly better quality than the last 2 or 3, because I've decided after all this time I'm not recording this one on the phone, it's actually on my camera again. So here's hoping it works out alright. Now, I know I usually do my weekly vlogs of like just general chin wags and all that. I'm going to apologise now if you hear some random noises. The pup's just down here in her playpen, and she's decided to have a wee hyper moment herself, which is fine. Nico is lying on the floor here beside me, and I've got my cup of coffee, so yeah, all good. Now, the thing is with these vlogs, right, is I don't actually come in with a set script or idea or plan, except from a small update on how work's going, which, to be honest, work's work. And I know that sort of sounds like, oh, it doesn't sound too good. It's not that, work's actually going alright. It's been good this sort of week, but it is what it is. You can only say so much about it. Unfortunately, I seem to come down unwell sort of Thursday night, Wednesday into Thursday, which wasn't great, but thankfully I had a good team with me on Thursday night that sort of understood how I was feeling and helped me out a bit, which was brilliant. There was a bit of give and take with that one. Things were a bit weird on that shift because Wednesday and Thursday seemed to get jump around quite a bit. From then Wednesday, I thought I was on one machine, it turned out I wasn't, so that was alright. I'm not going to complain about that because that was an assumption I made, and started emptying it, and the two guys that were on it came up and they were actually really thankful for it. And turns out the machine I was on was one they had been on, or they thought they were on, and they'd started doing that, so yeah, it was all good. Then I went down to the machine I was told I was meant to be on. Then about a few hours into the shift, that's probably why they say never work with animals, because of the noise. But anyway, like I was saying, so I'm partway through this shift, I got put back on the first machine I thought I was on, and yeah, it was just a bit of a confusing night. But never mind, we got there in the end. And then Thursday night, like I said, I wasn't feeling great, so yeah, it wasn't ideal. Then basically the guys I was with were really good, and then one of the guys got put on another machine, and we got somebody else that caused a bit of confusion because, long story short, when we were running the machine, the first three, well, it was me and the first two, we sort of had a very small team meeting, very quick, sort of. I asked them where they wanted to be. They said one of them said I wanted this job, the other one said I wanted that job. I took the other one, that was fine. Then the guy got changed, spoke to the new guy, and he said he was fine taking over where the guy had been. And then turns out he wanted the job I was doing, so it got changed again. But it was only confusing because of that, really, like because of the random sort of change. The guy wanted to change the job he was doing partway through it, and they didn't really say, "Oh, can we swap?" He just sort of slowly started trying to take it over, and eventually I had to sort of say to him, "What's like? Are you want to do that part?" And he just sort of looked at me, and I was like, "If you want to do that, then you can do that. You just need to say to me, like, you want to do," like, basically it was like making powders, helping with arms, things like that. That's what I'd been doing. I was like, "If you want to do that, that's fine, you just need to say, I want to do that part." And he sort of went, "Yeah, I want to do that," but I was like, "Right, that's fine, but instead of trying to sort of sneak in and take it over, just say, because I don't particularly mind what part I'm doing, as long as I've got something to do, even though I was feeling like crap." So after that was done, that was fine, we got that sorted out, so the rest of the shift ran really quite well after that. Things were running really quite smooth, really quite quickly, which is what you want. There's a constant flow going. So yeah, we're not going to have any complaints about that. So yeah, I'm still feeling pretty crap now, even if I do say so myself, and we're on Saturday, so I've had Friday and today to recover, but it doesn't help that I've only had like 3 hours sleep last night. Now I'm sure you're wondering why I've only had 3 hours sleep. Well, let's say I'm feeling pretty crap, so when I first went to bed, I couldn't sleep because I was absolutely freezing. Literally I could not get a heat in me. So I turned my heating up in the house a wee bit and things like that. Pulled on an extra layer because I usually just sleep in a pair of shorts, so I pulled on a t-shirt and things like that. Then still couldn't get to sleep, but I did start to get a heat in me, so I felt quite good about that. And then I went from absolutely freezing to absolutely cooking. I mean, I was sweating like mad last night. So yeah, it was quite interesting. And when I eventually did get to sleep, I had to get up again to take my partner to work, which I don't mind doing that. I don't mind taking her to work. But when you've only had 3 hours sleep, yeah, it's not the ideal situation. But it is what it is. So that's about the update for work and things like that. I did mention in one of my previous vlogs, I was going to have something new coming along, some big news, or something bigger to come. Well, that's come to light. It has happened, but I'm still not announcing it yet because it's not ready to be announced. Now, some of my viewers out there will already know what it is because I know them in real life and they've seen it and things like that. And had a bit of a prank with them over it, but it is what it is. As for my YouTube videos, it's not ready for that yet. So I'm hoping I will be able to announce that sooner or later, and hopefully I'll make things a wee bit more interesting again, but we will see. And the pup's still having a hyper moment in our cage. Not our cage, in our playpen, sorry. So yeah, I apologise it's not ready to be announced yet, but it's just something I want to make sure that it's going to be sort of long-term-ish before I announce it, because it is at the point where it could still go wrong. So I want to wait until I know it's not going to go wrong. So it's not like, oh, big announcement, and then a few weeks later it's like, well, that's that one dead. Now, another thing is I'm still in 2 minds. I've still got the A.O.B boxes to do, which I've not recorded as yet to the point of recording this one. But I am hoping to at least have one recorded today, because I'm not feeling great, I'm not wanting to go out too much. So I'm pretty much staying in the house, and I'm going to try and record at least one, if not the 2 that I've got sitting, plus the 2 patch clubs, so you never know. Might make one live yet, or I might follow through with the idea I had and get caught up that way, because my idea was try and film the 2 that I've got sitting in the one video and just combine the 2 videos into one. But there's also pros and cons to that, which is, if you watch my A.O.B videos, my Airsoft Operator box videos, I usually try and get pictures of all the items in the boxes. So try to do that could become confusing, and yeah, it becomes a lot more work to divvy the pictures back up, because usually I have to take the pictures, then edit them and all that, and becomes a bit of a hassle. So I might just do them as individuals, I might do them as one big video. I'm not saying 100% one way or another yet, because like I say, I've not even recorded them yet, but I do want to get caught up with them. to be decided, because my partner's at work, so obviously I'm on doggy duties, or puppy duties as I call it, because obviously we've got Nico and Rico. Yeah, I know, matching names. And Rico just been, I think she's 22, 23 weeks. Like 22, 23 weeks old. She's still, when she needs out. Where Nico's a bit more laid back, he's chilled. You know, he's easy. But we're not sure how old Nico actually is, because it was sort of a rescue job. But it is what it is. Now, I'm going to apologise. I've managed to hurt my shoulder somehow. Not exactly sure how. Probably just twisted it or turned it the wrong way. So, there's not too much to say in this video really. Like I said, I'm in the house. I'm going to be in the house all weekend, which is alright. It's just not my cup of tea. I'd rather be out and get stuff done, but with me not feeling well and the possibility that it could be COVID, I know a lot of the COVID restrictions have been taken away and things like that, but still I'm being cautious with it. Try to avoid the spread of it, things like that, which, yeah, is what it is. So, pretty much going to be in the house all weekend. So, not too much to say. I'm going to get on with stuff in the house once I've recorded this video anyway, because I can edit it at night and upload it for when it's to go live, which is handy, because I get the nights to do that, and obviously I've got the computer and that makes doing that a lot easier. But yeah, it is what it is at the moment. So the weather's quite crap anyway so far. There is other things ongoing which I'm not going to bring into my lives, into my vlogs, because they don't belong here. It's not the right place for it. But again, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Now, try and make these vlogs a bit more interesting. I know again I'm sitting in the same sort of spot. We've got the Terminator above me there. I think you can see part of the patch walls, which I've still not fixed them. So yeah, I still need to sort them out. I mean, they're back up. I just need to turn some of the patches, because the way they've been designed is not the way I put them up, which is, yeah, makes it a lot worse. Well, not a lot worse, just makes it a bit more inconvenient. So, yeah, I've got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it, but being stuck in the house might give me a lot more time to do it. Unfortunately, I never know what to really say in these vlogs, so I just end up going off on random tangents to myself. Let's say I'm hoping this one's come out a bit better quality, because I'm using the actual camera, not just a mobile phone. So if you're watching this and you want to let me know what you think of the quality, whether this is better, you want to see them more done like this, or if you're not that fussed and you'd like to see me out and about more, or try to do more with the phone, then yeah, comment, let me know. Now, the other unfortunate thing to me being unwell is I did sort of have plans for this weekend. Like, there was stuff I wanted to go and do. I was going to try and do a bit more with the phone this weekend and try and get a bit more footage of being out. But COVID's still on the go, so that sort of got a wee bit screwed up, shall we say. So I'm now stuck in a situation where I cannot do that. But it is what it is, and yeah, I still smoke, I admit it. Rather than come off the old ciggies yet. So yeah, it is what it is at the moment. The ironic thing is, or funny thing, is one of the legs on my seat broke. This might make you laugh. This might or might not. So, I know it doesn't sound like the end of the world, or a leg on the seat's broken, but if you get it wrong, the whole seat sort of tilts, and it's not going to do it now. Like, the legs actually split, so the wheel that holds it is like not there anymore, it's come off. And I did try and glue it back in place for all the rest of it, it held for like 12 to 16 hours, and then the glue broke, so that became like no point in doing that. And if I get it wrong, the whole seat tilts, and yeah, if I get that leg wrong, like if it goes to the back of me and I tilt, sort of lean back for whatever reasons, yeah, the whole seat tries to topple. So yeah, turns using the computer into a bit of a balancing act at times. But I think I've got it set up at the moment in such a way that if it does tilt, it just tilts into the computer desk, and that stops me going any further because the desk is against the wall. So yeah, and the number of times I've nearly ended up on my backside because that is unreal. But I suppose it is what it is. I'll just need to get a new one, so anyway, until I can afford that. But yeah, like I said, try and make these sort of vlogs interesting, and it's quite difficult at times. Because we've obviously got to try and get subjects and things like that are going to be made interesting to use the viewers. Which isn't always easy, if I'm honest with you. It's quite difficult at times. Well, as I said, I'm going to start try use my camera a bit more again, because that is one thing I will say, is since I started working, my camera's sort of been put on a shelf a bit and put on the back burner, which is like, I don't get out that much with that. I don't get to take videos or pictures that often, so I'm just let's see what the pup's up to, which is a wee bit annoying because I actually really enjoyed doing my photography, and I feel that's not getting done as much anymore. But I do enjoy the work, so it's a bit give and take. The problem is getting out at weekends is also difficult, because I obviously work night shifts, so even at the weekends I try and stick to that routine a bit. It's not always that easy, but yeah, especially this time of year, because like the weather's more miserable and things like that, so it's not so nice to go out with the camera and go for a walk or anything like that. And a lot of really picturesque things, like round where I live, some people have got really nice gardens in the spring and summer, you know, I don't want to say really interesting flowers, but really nice flowers, or just the way they've set their garden up, it looks nice, so they make nice pictures. But at this time of year, everything's died back, not so nice. And then obviously we've got things like nature's no out as much, you know, like I had the wee birds on my window for a while, which I was going to try and get pictures of until they'd finished building their nest and realised it just wasn't going to happen. But obviously they've migrated or gone wherever they've gone, they're not in the nest at the moment, so we've sort of lost that. But what can you do? But if I can, I'm going to start try to use this camera a wee bit more for things, because the tripod I've got, I think I can set up to do different things. Think being the key word, we'll need to wait and see. But yeah, even with work, and doing 12-hour shifts makes it a bit more difficult as well, because they're long days. You know, the work's good, the work makes the time pass relatively quick. But by the time I get home, I'm tired, all the rest of it, get up, I've got a lot of the time I've got the pup and Nico to deal with through the day, so it does make it more difficult to try and film things. And then obviously at the weekends, my days off, I've got the house to do. So yeah, very tight on time to try and do things, but I am going to try and do more and become a bit more active with my camera again, I think, because like I said, I am missing using it. So I might try and do some more sort of random photography, which would be good. but we'll need to take that as it comes, because I've got a lot of plans. Like I say, I've got another announcement there, which is going to be a bit of a project as well. I've got quite a lot ongoing, because I've still got to decide whether I'm going to carry on doing the A.O.B videos, and October's video is coming, which, if I'm going to stop doing it for a while, is where I would like to stop doing it, because if I'm right, that'd be the 4-year milestone for doing it, and I'd rather end it at a milestone like that rather than just at some random point and go, oh, I'm not doing them anymore. Now, as I have said in my other vlogs, if I stop recording them, doesn't mean I'm going to stop buying them. It just means I'm not going to do them on YouTube anymore. I don't really know at the moment. I'm in two minds whether I'm going to stop doing them or I'm going to carry on doing them. It's a decision that I have to make. But I will let yous know when I know what I'm going to do. If yous want me to carry on doing them, or if you're interested, go and check the playlist out. I'm sure I said this in one of my last vlogs as well. If you actually look at the first A.O.B video I've done to the latest ones, you will see a massive change in my abilities and even my screen presence in those videos. Because I did have a couple of wee videos up before I started doing them on YouTube, but they were my first ones, like really trying to do a host a video like that, if that makes sense. It wasn't just random videos, it was something that needed time and effort put into it, and thought put into actually making the videos look good. And my first videos aren't that great, but for the equipment I had, I felt it was okay, and for the experience I had at the time, same as I feel the ones that I do now, they're not the greatest videos out there, they could be better, but for what I've got, the equipment I've got, and the time I've got, I do feel they come out good. I'm actually going to say this outright on my vlog. I feel some of my A.O.B videos are better than other people's videos out there that have a lot more subscribers to them than I do, which I am going to say is a wee bit annoying, because there is some YouTubers out there, I'm not saying their content's bad, I'm not saying their content's no good, but I do feel like their content is very much minimalist effort put into it. Like they've got the camera set up, they open the box, they go through the contents, they tell you what's in it, that's all good and well, and then that's it. Where I don't. What I do is, I do the same thing. I sort of open the box, I try and have a screen presence, I try and go through the items in the box and tell you what they are, and do it a way that seems to work. I try and cater for all airsofters, from complete noobs to the more experienced airsofters to the veterans. I put different sections in. I even take photos of them, and I put the photos on the screen whilst I'm going through the boxes, which obviously takes a lot more editing, because I've got to edit the photos and put them in the video, then position them and find the right place for them and make the photos look good, all the rest of it. And when you see somebody that just opens the box and goes through it, compared to that, you're saying, going, well, what am I doing wrong? I'm putting in the extra effort and feel like I'm doing something wrong still. But try to break out into the YouTube community is difficult. Try to get spotted, try and pick things up, try to have the time to make videos, because unlike some YouTubers out there, and this isn't through A.O.B or anything like that, just compared to some YouTubers out there, like some of the bigger channels, I don't have a team, I don't have anyone else working on these with me, it is just myself. I've got to edit them, I've got to film them, I've got to post them, I've got to do all that myself. And with working on top of that, it does make time really tight. I mean, even doing the vlogs, can be difficult at times, but they are easier than the A.O.B videos to do. But I'm not going to go on and say it. I'll say it again, if you've not checked out my A.O.B playlist, then jump over, have a look, let me know what you think. If you want to see me carry on doing them, then feel free to comment in either on this video or one of my A.O.B videos, whatever. Just let me know you want me to keep doing them, and that could be what convinces me to carry on doing them. Or if you're not particularly bothered, then say nothing. Or if you think I should drop the playlist for a while, then let me know. And let me know if you want to replace it with something else. I am hoping to start trying out to airsoft games again at some point soon and start filming them. So hopefully that'll at least let something happen. And again, I will be able to let you know. But that's not going to be for a while yet, I don't think. Just again, due to work and things going on in personal life, I don't really have the time to go out and play much at the moment, which is a bit disappointing. But again, it is what it is. But on that note, I think it's time I wrap this video up and bring it to an end. So if you've not done so already, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the wee bell icon, and until next time, don't forget, be smart, be safe, think others, and peace!